Hey, you guys, welcome back to Listen Bitch Presents Tell Me Why You Are Special. This is the arena. It's where we stop pretending that we're fine and we tell the truth about what it actually costs to lose yourself. Because here's the reality: you can look successful, anyone can, help everyone else, do all the right things, and you can still end up completely disconnected from who the hell you really are. And God does not call you to pour out so much that there's nothing left of you. Literally, he calls you to live awake and aligned and present. So if you've ever felt like you've disappeared inside your own life, the show is for you. Let's get into it. Today's guest is Stephana Oetinger. Okay, she didn't study burnout. She actually lived it and found her way back, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm gonna let her tell the story. Stephana, thank you so much for coming into the hot seat today. My first question for everybody is kind of the same. Give us your elevator pitch. Who are you? What do you do? And what makes you special, darling?
30 plus years as a quote unquote healer in holistic health, natural healing, in leadership roles, and lived it, breathed it in terms of the game you play to show up, push through it, totally ignore the signals. And, you know, I'm a mom of two amazing sons. That's my number one right there. I mean, that I think that's why I was born, is to birth my two sons and raise them, and from there, it's really been crisis after crisis, and apparently that's part of my human design, and I didn't quite know that because I kept one trauma, one thing after another from the time I was an infant until uh, 3 months ago, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I realized, wow, so I actually need to stop and pay attention instead of trying to push through this bloody crisis or this next wave. I need to stop and listen to the signal. And you mentioned, okay, exactly in your intro, listen to it. Otherwise, you're pouring from nothing, or you're pouring from empty, and you're completely on, out of reserve. There's no reserve left. You're deficient in every way, shape, or form, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, all of it. And yet you still keep going. I don't know if that's a woman trait. I don't know if it's a mom trait. I don't know. I don't know that I even care.
Yeah.
But I know for me, it's a human trait at this moment. And I think we live in a culture and a time now that no one is immune to this.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I'm not having conversations with every single person. I can't afford it. I think maybe there's a percentage, probably a very large percentage of the population, that are completely numb. And they use wonderful things to numb themselves out. And to me, that's worse, though, honestly.
Yeah.
That's worse.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Agree. Yeah, I
Here
agree.
I am, walking the next step, taking the next step, listening very, very carefully, because it's so, twice today. So I wrote a book
Congrats.
literally out of this chaos, crisis, terror.
Mm-hmm.
February 17th, after working 7 days a week, pushing through at the job and taking calls after I had designated that my time with my family was, this is priority, and I would shut my phone off. But
Yeah.
somehow it leaked through, and month after month, and then just stuff happens. But February 17th, it was actually February 16th, I went to bed at 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and my body said, this is it. I knew this was okay. I'd been having some interesting symptoms, blood flow, etc., but stress.
Yeah.
And I spent the next 6 hours on the bathroom floor, praying, literally praying.
Yeah.
And about 3:40 in the morning, I heard, with no uncertain terms, they can replace you. The company can replace you. And your sons cannot. And so that was it. That was the moment. I could not hear anything else for weeks, months, because I was forcing myself to show up, go to work, do multiple hats and roles because.
Mm-hmm.
And my son kept saying for weeks prior to that, Mom, you're choosing. Mom, you're choosing to go in. You're choosing to take his calls. You're choosing. I could not hear it.
Yeah.
The signal was lost. I was so buried. And I remember standing in front of the stove, cooking, I don't know what.
Yeah.
And I heard the text. And so I had to go take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was getting so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my sign.
Yeah.
When I'm angry, I knew. I was like, because I try really hard not to be angry. I try to,
Yeah.
that's the thing you suppress.
Is this like a
But I
work
had lots of,
balance? I mean, paint a picture for us because it's right
yeah.
now it's very vague and I'm trying to piece pieces together.
Oh,
You
okay.
you wake up and you're not feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
guessing you're puking on the bathroom floor. I don't.
I,
Why are we on the
yes.
bathroom floor? And then your son is like, you're choosing this, and is
Yeah.
he talking about like you're working extra for a choice or?
Thank you. So I definitely go all over the place at this
No, it's
point.
fine. I just want to make. I just.
So it overall, it's been a very hard time. I took on a position. I was excited to take on this position back last year
Okay.
in October. I took the role to sink my teeth into something that was outside of myself. I've always been an entrepreneur, creating my businesses, doing things. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take on something outside of myself. It'll be a steady paycheck. Then I can focus on my family that needs my help here.
Yeah.
And it had been a really rough prior year because my son was injured and he was literally on bed rest for 2 months. And I was the primary care, blah, blah, blah. Just layers and layers. So I took this position in October of 2025. The position I applied for was a scale of pay between 60 and 80. I've done this, I'm senior level. I figured it's a no brainer that I'm 75, 80 that the offer would be. Well, the owner offered me 62. And in the moment I saw that, the signal was there. I overrode it. I'll take it and I'll prove my worth.
Yeah.
So I worked full time, what full time salary is with certain hours. I worked a lot more than that. I was working 7 days a week. I was working 60, then 70, then 80, then 90. I was then nonstop because I was so obsessed
Yeah.
with getting this studio from zero, which it wasn't even built out, to break even.
Yeah.
I was going to do this. I'd done it before. I'd taken my studio from 0 to 6 figures in 6 months. I was going to freaking do this faster, and I can do this, right?
Yeah.
So I worked nonstop, and it became obsessive. I did lose the majority of my boundaries were,
Gone.
and that is on me. That's 100% on me. But the reason, and the book that I ended up writing from this, literally, it came out of me last week, is Stay Sane. Something I say to my boys all the time. What's the definition of insanity? So they'll say that back to me.
Yeah.
And in every moment you're choosing, right? And they were then able to say those things back to me and mirror that. And this was such a condensed frame of time from October when I took the position to February 16th, when I was on death's door. I got my DNR set up. I got everything in place. Over the next 2 weeks after that, because I knew that was it. My body was done.
Yeah. What's your
And
diagnosis that you think that
I'm
it's
not going to go
over?
into that because I was injured on January 16th doing work.
Okay.
I was basically a pack mule.
Okay.
It was a physical job.
Okay.
In holistic health and fitness, this happened to be a stretching. I was stretching people. I was physically lifting bodies, stretching very
Yeah.
heavy legs multiple times. I had injured my cervical spine January 16th.
Mm-hmm.
The week before, the gal that we hired was an absolute fiasco. It was 2 weeks before. It was a fiasco. And I felt guilty, obligated. It was my fault because I hired her and I wanted to bring her in. I was so excited about her. And she was cuckoo.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Missed the signals.
Yeah.
So I felt guilty. I felt like I had to make up for her. I did. Then I started going in at 6 a.m., then at 5 a.m., starting to take clients at 7 a.m. I mean, stupid stuff. It went off. I went off in this whole, like it was a tsunami of one after the other, losing signal, losing myself, and then making more decisions based on that because I was in such, it's not even hell. It was far worse than that. I was in such disconnect that I could not even know that I was choosing, even though I have the moments where my son was saying, Mom, you are choosing, Mom, you are choosing, Mom, you're choosing. I literally felt like I was so small. I literally felt like I was buried somewhere so far down in the middle of the earth, and hearing my son say it, and I could not reach it. And yet I was forcing my body. Not, I couldn't sleep. My mind was constantly, I gotta get to the next, I gotta get to our break even. And then the accountant says, oh, we're not, because I thought 15, that's what most studios are breaking even. Oh no, we're not even close. Like, wait a minute, I had planned 20. And where's my, like, when am I going to start getting more bonus? Because I'm behind my bills by 2,000 every single month. Something's, like, and it just got nuts. And look, as I'm saying this, I'm sure anyone listening is like, holy crap, she's just stupid. She's just stupid. But listen, I'm not that stupid.
Yeah.
I'm actually incredibly capable. And you can't be that stupid to take something from zero to a 6-figure monthly recurring revenue in under 3 months, and the highest in the entire franchise's history. But there was a cost, and the cost was my life.
Yeah.
And I've had an opportunity where I get to say, is this next step the step I'm going to take?
Yeah.
Or is it the last, or is that's the end of it? And when I had that signal fully integrate into me, and what I call it from S.A.N.E, signal is the S, A is the anchor, and the anchor for me became that moment. They can replace you, your sons can't. They can replace you, your sons cannot.
Yeah.
That was my mantra that got me through the next 2 weeks, because I immediately took medical leave. I sent an email. That was it. And I immediately started taking care of myself.
Yeah.
I'd already been going to the doctor 3 times a week because my cervical spine was cutting blood flow. I was numb on the left side, but I was freaking pushing through that. I was pushing through the pain. I was ignoring it, not even pushing through it. I was literally ignoring it. But at some point your body says, fine, you're going to ignore us. Well, we'll let you know what's going to happen then. Here you go. And then I found out my arteries were very, very clogged, especially at the brain, at the neck area. And every time I was holding a body up and shaking, then I start shaking and I was like graying out. What's going on? And I'm breathing through it. I'm like, okay, I can just get through another 40 minutes. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm telling my body I can do it as I'm going numb. It's like, it's okay. You can do this. And that's the modus operandi that has gotten me through sexual abuse, rape, trauma, being homeless, blah, 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 blah. Look, we've all had trauma.
Yeah. And
I don't, the stories, they're not going to, for me to go and, yes, maybe I can say this, but this is the other thing. What I got out of this is S.A.N.E.
Yeah.
The signal. The signal is the first thing. And so now I am so vigilant about the signal. And it's amazing the transformation as a result, because now I think after having such a break in trust with my own body, that my body this morning, when so the signal, so where that signal showed up this morning, and in that moment, I was there finally able to hear it, and I was able to pause, and I anchored, and I immediately went and allowed that to anchor into my body. And that action that was an obsessive action that I would normally do, and I was able to get the signal, I literally stopped it and went and took action, anchored it in my body that that signal was there, had the conversation with my body, my heart, my soul, God, let's, my connection
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I synced back up and I anchored. And that's what I call the A. So anchoring. And then I was able to neutralize the frenetic. I've got to go. I'm missing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to get this done. I have to get this. I'm missing. I'm like, nope, there's nothing else. And so when I was able to then neutralize, which is the N of sane, I could then execute. And you know what the execution was? The simplest, most beautiful action. And peace, just
Yeah.
peace. And that is sane to me. That's sane.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I think most of my life, and I'm approaching, I'm late 50s, and I cannot believe most of my life, I'm harder on myself than anyone else.
Of course.
I think most of my life I've been freaking insane. I've been operating insane. My God,
Yeah.
that's insane. Like, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to live another day. If I have one more day on this planet with this, in this moment, in this beautiful moment, can I feel peace and some true, sane connection?
Yeah.
And that's all I needed. That is all I needed to get back to. And now it's a process because I'm 30 plus days into it. Situation with family members. I needed to make a quick travel trip last minute yesterday, got on a plane, and I used my signal. Okay, where was it?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Every single time. And I think that to me is a true miracle. And that's why I said, I want to share this with 100 locations, 100 places, 100 people, 100, I don't care, because I need to practice this and integrate it. So you're my first. Thank
Oh,
you.
congrats. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for this. Even with the internet and all of that.
Yeah, I think getting it
I'm
done
in
is
it.
the new perfect. You're in it.
I am literally in it. And what I wrote in Stay Sane is exactly it. When we push through, we are high performing, high achieving. I have worked with high achieving women and leaders for 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I went to New York City and at 16 and I'm going to do this and I'm going to push through it and I'm going to shove through it. And at some point, you lose yourself and you lose your signal.
Yeah.
And I guess it took what it took. It took that experience. And in this moment, no, there is no regret. There's no regret. There can never be, because I would not have learned what I learned. I would not become who I am in this exact moment. And it's the greatest gift, even though, holy smoke, it was so painful and torturous. And it was all I could do to stay in the moment and to keep moving forward instead of going back to that woman who lost herself every single time.
Right.
And I just want others to know it. It's like when I was sexually abused, I never talked about it because I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
And then at some point you started, oh my God, there's three of us here and all three of us? No, that's not possible.
Yeah.
And then once I broke that, I was like, okay, wait a minute, I'm not alone. And so I would speak about that. You're not alone. Well, okay, this is what it is. And then the human design. What's really interesting is I have done all the tests and became certified in this and Myers-Briggs. In the 80s we did this and 90s we did this, and then human design came about. Like, oh, another one that we have to put ourselves into some category. But I had done a certification last year and didn't finish it, and I started it again in November. Got my course, so like, okay, I'm going to finish some of these courses that I have, and I literally finished it and saw, oh, I'm a manifester, which means in human design, my energy needs to be replenished. It doesn't constantly regenerate. You have to, as manifestors, we go in and we create. and we have to come out to replenish. So when you don't do that, you definitely start to deteriorate because
Yeah.
there's no energy to replace.
Right.
So once I understood that, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Let me really get that for a moment. And then the second was the emotional piece, because I was making decisions based on emotions of, and the emotion wasn't joy or it was an emotional high of an extreme
Yeah.
or an emotional low of a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the worst places to be making important decisions.
Yeah.
And, but that's, I didn't understand that about myself. I mean, logically, you want to try and fix it. But at the end of the day, I was very results driven. That
Yeah.
was the only thing that mattered, is the freaking result.
Right.
I don't care if I die doing this.
Yeah.
And I literally said that to the accountant. I said, well, I'll keep pushing and I'll keep doing it because we don't have any more staff and I'm trying to hire the staff, but there was a little. And I said, I guess I have to do that because I have to get to there and I guess I will literally die. I said those words.
Yeah.
What? Now, is that not a signal?
Right.
It's like something else said them through me because I was already overtaken
Yeah.
by this thing. And that's what's so crazy to me. And I'm still working through it, but I'm telling you, there is a signal.
Yeah.
You have to connect to that freaking signal. Call it what you need to call it,
Yeah.
but you need to know it's your signal
Of
and you need to
course.
be able to recognize it and then anchor in it. Because once you anchor in that, you are not this ship on a tossing, turning, turbulent tsunami.
Right.
You can anchor.
Yeah.
And then you can neutralize this, you know, take the time to neutralize these
Mm-hmm.
extremes so
Mm-hmm.
that you can then execute only acting on what is in alignment. And
Yeah.
that's my now. I
Yeah.
like acronyms,
Yeah.
but that's
Um,
that's what I got out of it.
your journey is incredible, and we're running out of time here, so I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And then obviously I want you to tell us where people can find your podcast and your book. But when you picture it, what does a fully present, fully aligned life look like for you now, today?
Interesting. I've really let go of everything. When you face and realize what matters and what doesn't, there's no material object, there's no monetary, nothing. It is the relationships, it is the genuine love and truth in my own heart, my love and truth that I carry within my own heart, and that divine spark that I believe is within all of us that is just unfortunately numbed or dimmed. And that, and coming back to the signal again, to the
Yeah,
signal.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. Where can people find your book? How can they work with you? Where do they find all the things? The podcast?
Yeah. Leadstrongerlonger.com is basically where you can find just about everything. You can see the book there. I really hope you'll come and be a guest on my
Oh,
podcast.
for sure.
Yeah. So leadstrongerlonger.com. And from there, anything that would support you.
Okay. All
Thank
right,
you
you
so
guys. Yeah, of course. This is the part of the
much.
show where I tell Stephana what I think makes her special. And it's not just your experience, it is your raw and brutal honesty about it. You didn't stay in this role of someone who has their shit together. You let yourself be seen in the moments where you didn't. And instead of hiding it, you are turning it into something that can actually help people come back to themselves. And I think that that's incredibly rare. I think that's real. And I really believe that's what makes you special. To everyone listening, you guys pay attention to your life, not just what you're doing, but who you're becoming in the process, because God did not create you to disappear inside your own responsibilities. You're allowed to be present, to be whole. You're allowed to come back to yourself, to be honest, to be aware. And please remember, your mess is your message. Even in the burnout, even in the breakdown, that's the starting point. Even the moments where you've lost yourself, that's what makes your voice stronger. And if you've been feeling that pull to actually use your voice, to share your story, to say something real, you don't have to wait until you have it all figured out. I created a free podcast support group on Facebook. It's a space where you can start where you are exactly here today. speak the truth, get on other people's shows, share the experience, build something meaningful without overthinking every single step. I do not gatekeep. I literally tell you everything that has made my podcasting career successful and how it is what you can use to monetize anything you want to get into the world. You have a book, get a podcast, okay? Your story, your coaching business, whatever it is, you guys. I'm telling you that's the answer. So if it's been on your heart, come join me. If this episode hit, please do me a favor and share this out for Stephana, people to find her, to be able to find her experience and her books and her relatability. If you guys don't share this, then she's not going to reach the person that needs to hear her the most. So I'm just asking you for that selfless thing really fast to give it a share. Make sure you give a review. Stars are cute, but if you actually leave a comment, we find an extra person. Okay. And you guys, if you're ready for the hot seat, come tell me why you're special. Stephana, thank you so much for your time today. I love this, the realness, everything raw. This was amazing.
You are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
That spoke to my heart so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.